don't want us to go. No, I don't want us to go. Yeah, you could be my lifeline, you could be my sunshine. In a world so full of pain, can you make it go away? Used to be so sad that love was lost, but now it's here to stay. Yeah, I used to be uncomfortable, but look at me today. Never thought I'd find someone like you, someone to show the way. But now I know you're the answer to my prayer. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I'm sorry for the burden, sorry I was hurting, but my scars are almost healed. Yeah, my scars are almost healed. Yeah, I'm feeling like a child now. Everything's alright now, and it's all because of you. You made the flower in me bloom. Used to be afraid of everything, but now there's no more fear. Yeah, I used to let nobody in and hide my face with tears. Always thought of you as someone who can love someone like me, but I was wrong. Baby, now I believe. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe
Hey.
you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah.
Three, two, one. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Danae Show. I am Danielle Danea, aka Danny, and I've got a lot to say. So let's get into it. Women must like the man more when it comes to dating. Let's talk about it. So I came across this topic while watching Myron and Fresh. I think they have a podcast called Fresh and Fit, right? And they had this other guy that was featured on the show really breaking down the points as to why it's true that women have to like the man more when it comes to dating. Now, initially, I thought the man had to like the woman more, because in my mind, I was like, men don't really like women like a lot, or they don't stick by women often. There's so many players, so they gotta really like you to stick around. But when this guy broke these points down, it really shifted my opinion, and I was like, he's presenting facts. So I'm going to explain those same facts he broke down to you guys today. So this is the first one, guys. He said, when a man likes you too much, the woman typically becomes uninterested. And I thought that was interesting because, so many women speak about how they don't like the super nice guy, the guy that, is all over them, calls them a million times a day, texts them all throughout the day. Because it's just like, why are you so thirsty to talk to me? Like, are you like this with other girls? Are you desperate? It reeks of desperation to a lot of women. And a lot of women appreciate the attention, but they again, they're thinking, you must do this often to think, women like this or something like this. It must have been a skill you developed throughout time. So even though the attention is cute, like when you're too in their face, and too all about them, again, it just reeks of desperation. So that was an interesting point. He said also there's no respect there, and women get very bored. Women respect a man that, is about his business, doesn't have a whole lot of time to talk to you throughout the day, is too busy about making money and providing, and not all in your face trying to see what you're doing that day, how you're feeling, all this other stuff. They are focused on doing what they need to do, their purpose in life, figuring it out and fulfilling it, right? So that was very true when he said that. And when he said women get very bored with a guy that's constantly in their face, yeah, again, when you have predictable behavior, women do get bored. If we know you're going to hit us up 10 times a day, 5 times a day, just asking the same type of questions, how are you? How's your day going? Can I talk to you? Again, it seems desperate, and it also is predictable, and predictable gets boring. So yeah, that was very valid point. He also said, too accessible. When you're too accessible, you lose value. And that's for anything. Like, that's with women who sleep around. They lose value to men. So it definitely makes sense when you're too in your face. It seems like you seem like you're always available to talk whatever I need. You're around, which is, again, it could be seen as a good thing, but not, again, if you come off desperate, if you come across as your whole life revolves around, if she responds, if she responds or not. So yeah, you lose value to that woman. You do. And even though I know women are confusing to a lot of guys. They say one thing out their mouth, and then when you do that thing, it's like, oh, they turn around and say something completely different. I'm telling you guys, when you like them way too much, I'm telling you that we can sense it. We can, especially the super, super pretty women, because again, they get this nonstop all the time. So if we can, if we know you're going to respond to everything we say, and you're going to be around every second, every time I text you, you're going to respond in a moment's notice. It's, again, cute. It's cute to have around, but we don't really respect you. You're just, another guy that's around, always relying on our attention, So very true. And he also brought up an interesting take that I didn't even think about. He said there are some women who think they can change men, and some of them actually do. They get a man, they get in a relationship, and a woman says she wants this, this, and this out of this man. But the moment they do this, this, and this that this woman is asking, the woman becomes uninterested. And I was like, why is that? And then he further explains and says, it's because that's not how she met him. Women fall in love with who they meet from the get. And even though, again, this is a perfect scenario of women say one thing and actually mean another, if I didn't meet you this way and I got in a relationship with you, why would you think if you really changed that, if you change, that I would still have that same affection and love for you if you're now a completely different person? So that was very interesting to me. And again, these women, I know it's confusing. They'll say they want you to be this way, but think about it, guys. If you really sit back, it doesn't make any sense. If you want me to be different, why are you with me from the get? And it'll be a completely different person, completely different how she might. It's different when she like wants a little like tweaks. She wants you to eat better or something like that. It's different when it comes to like bettering your health or whatever, putting you in better situations. But no, it's like a personality change. Or it's usually, or they want you to make more money or whatever. It's just like, no, they met you how you were, you know? So that's when you drastically change. It's like, who is this person? So when he broke it down like that, I thought that was very, very interesting. Yeah, you're not who she initially fell in love with, so she's gonna fall out of love when you change. So again, valid point. Men, he said straight up, men need to remain who they are. Always. Men that think they, need to change for a woman, that's not the woman for you. I'm telling you. It's not. It's not. He said men need to attract a woman that fits into their life and then build together. And those are the most lasting relationships. And I did some research. I was like, this is actually true. If you look at a lot of couples that have been together long term, you'll see the relationships that last are like a Grant Cardone, a Elena Cardone, a LeBron James, Savannah James, Denzel Washington, Pauletta Washington, and even Rosie Huntington Whitley. I love her. And Jason Statham. I don't know if I pronounce his last name right. I always mix it up. But yeah, they met each other. They worked together. They built together for years and made it work. And I love using the example because Rosie Huntington Whitley had a whole career. She was a supermodel. She was a Victoria's Secret model. Big time career. But she knew in the back of her head that, this isn't long term, and she valued having a family before her career, and she met Jason and got with his program, had kids, and they're together. And I bet you in every one of those relationships, the woman likes the man so much better, so much more, pardon me. I would bet money on it. And I think even Elena Cardone has spoke out and said this, like she likes Grant way more than her. Now, I got a lot of pushback from this. It's like, I remember I posted this on I think Threads or something, saying the woman has to love the man more when it comes to relationships. And some women were like, no, I've loved the man more and it didn't work out. Understand, there's a major factor I've kind of left out of this that I have to say. Women, the man has to like you. No. The problem is too many women are entertaining men that do not like them is the problem. But a man has to like you. The man has to love you in a long-term relationship, in a marriage, in order for this to work. You can't be dealing with people that don't like you. Obviously, it's not going to work if he doesn't like you. But the man has to love you, like you, and you have to like and love him, and then you like and love him a little bit more. Right? So that's that. But you may ask why is that? Why do you believe that? And it's just because women are emotionally led and their feelings are fleeting. They're up and down. They're fleeting. They're misleading. And the one thing about men is, typically when men are happy, they don't switch up. When they're happy initially, when they love you initially, they don't all of a sudden wake up and are like, never mind, I want a divorce. It's always women. If you look at stats, it's the women who file for divorce. Because one day they just wake up and feel like, I'm a little bored. I'm a little, over this. I'm done. I want a divorce. It's because when men are truly invested in something, like marriage is a contract. It's a business deal, whether you want to believe it or not. And when men invest time, money, resources into a business, they stick with it and they want to return out of their investment. It's a big investment. Marriage is the biggest investment that you can make in your life. So, and a lot of men, they feel like, they made the right choice in the beginning. They think their woman loves them. They're happy. They're content. Their feelings aren't fleeting. Even if there's stress in the relationship, they're not so quick to give up because they don't move based on their feelings. They move on what they deem to be best for the business. Women are completely different. They're only thinking of themselves. Women are naturally selfish. I say this all the time. They're only thinking about themselves. So that's why the woman has to like the man more. And you can be like, well, if women's feelings are fleeting, then it's like, what relationship will last? One day, if they always are like that, and women are just naturally like that, why say? It's because the one feeling that women will stay for is love. That will look over. If a woman's in love with you, she will be mad at you. She will fight you. She'll cry her eyes out, but she'll come running back. You see these women that are in love with that crappy man. You all know that guy that your whole family hates, but your cousin brings him around all the time because she's in love with that man. She is in love with that man. She tolerates it. She looks past how she feels in the moment because she's in love. Now, I'm not over here saying, ladies, don't tolerate a man that treats you badly. No. But you definitely have to be in love with him in order to get past the hardships. And yeah, it is what it is. You should only be like that for the greatest man. And just because that man doesn't, text you a million times a day, it's so funny. Women want the busy man that makes all this money and looks great. All that stuff takes time, but want them to text them 10 times a day. It's like, no, you got to pick and choose one. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Guys, because the guy that's making all the money in the gym all the time, making things happen, doesn't have time to text you 10 times a day. And again, if he did do that, you'd be like, oh, what's going on? Why isn't he more into his job? It's a lose-lose situation, and guys know this. So, no, the guy making all the money, not texting you all the time, but it's a provider, loves your kids, wiped you up. Ladies, get married before you start having kids and or at least make sure this man is invested before you start having his babies. But once you do realize this man is invested and y'all are set for life, choose to stick with that man. It's all a choice, guys. Put your feelings aside. It's a choice to stay with your husband, regardless of how you feel. Because again, feelings are misleading and fleeting. Too many women are in their feelings all the time. We always like to look at old couples and be like, oh, well, our grandparents didn't have social media. No. They had other options. Maybe they weren't as in your face, obviously, as today. Given. That's a given. But it was a choice. They knew in their head, like, no, I'm in love with this man. I want to be with this man. Forget everybody else. This is where I'm staying. I'm sticking beside my man. But we've given women so many choices to do so many other things. It's like, oh, now I can also pick and choose when I want to love my husband and when I don't, and when I'm done. When men have been the same throughout time, they're still your grandfather in men today. It's just the grandmother part has been removed from women. No, I'm invested in this. This is my family. Forget who's liking my pictures on Instagram. This is my family. I'm going to fight for it. A woman has to be overwhelmingly in love to get over those fleeting feelings. Because those butterfly feelings, the honeymoon stage, we like to call them, call it when everything's great, you're new, it's fresh, new love. It's also fleeting like feelings. And if that woman isn't truly in love with you and means when she says till death do us part on our wedding day. She's going to part way before either one of you dies. But women have been great for years, but they're getting 10 times better at, playing like they're in love with a man. They're really getting really good at playing the role right until, the wedding, right? Or after the honeymoon, then they switch up. But guys, you really got to pay attention because they slip up. The thing is, they do slip up. You just got to catch it. A lot of men are so blindsided by beauty, blindsided by other things that they like about the woman that they don't see those red flags. But I'm telling you, they're there. It's different for every woman, pretty well. Sometimes it's very similar, but you got to learn her. You got to really study her before you make that commitment, guys. You really do. Because women are, they're brutal. Just the other day, I am a model at Nordstrom. And I work with a bunch of different photographers, different stylists all the time. And I had previously asked a photographer, one of them, I had said, how many times have you had your heart broken a lot? And he was like, yeah, too many times. And then I asked another photographer when I came back, and I asked him the same exact question. I was like, have you had your heart broken a lot? He was like, I said it almost exactly the same way the other photographer said it the other time I asked him. And I was just like, oh my gosh. It's crazy. And it's because, I bet you, it's because they like the woman more than the woman liked them. And got their heart broken. And I sat back and thought, I was like, I haven't really had my heart broken a lot. I can't even think. I've been upset and disappointed and maybe cried, but my heart wasn't broken. I wasn't bent out of shape for days. And I sat back and thought about that. I was like, And it was because I really didn't care. And that's messed up. I'm laughing, but it's so messed up. Because men, when they care, they care. And too many men have been suffering in silence. And that's why I appreciate podcasts like Fresh and Fit and even Kevin Samuels before he died. And then my boyfriend's podcast was amazing. And because men are finally speaking up to how the world really works and so much truth behind what they feel. And they've had to hide their truth for way too long because they were told their feelings don't matter. But women's feelings it was like what matters the most is the only thing that matters. It's so unfair. And, like I said, I'm glad it's being shown. This is something that needs to be talked about because I want people to be married. I want people to have kids. I want there to be a family unit because it just makes the world a difference when it comes to raising kids and how smart they are and how curious they are to learn about more things and all the stuff that's healthy to have in a human being. But it's being destroyed by selfish women every single day because they they're led by their emotions. So, yeah. I just tell women out there, a message to the women out there looking for relationships, looking to be loved. I'm like, get with the program or get dumped. Be willing to get with the man's program or get dumped. If you really want a relationship now, again, if you want to be single for the rest of your life, don't listen to me. But if you want a man to love you, take care of you, you should get with this program. You should love him. Love him hard. Because men every day got to go out in the world, experience hate, hardships that we'll never be able to understand. We couldn't handle a quarter of what they go through. but want to react emotionally, be upset, be I'm not happy, think we're struggling, and the little bits of struggle we go throughout the day ain't nothing compared to what they go through. And then they gotta come home to their wife saying, "Oh, I'm bored. Oh, I'm not happy anymore. Oh, I want a divorce." It's freaking ridiculous. For invalid reasons. Now, there are valid reasons to get a divorce, and most of them aren't valid. Again, it's just one woman waking up saying, "Oh, I'm not happy. Oh, I'm not in love anymore." So, shout out to Fresh and Fit for having the guest on speaking about this. Yeah, because the nice guy isn't valued anymore. And there's a way to balance it out, guys. There's a way to be kind and not nice. I say this all the time. I'm a kind person, not a nice one. Or I'm a good person, not a nice one. I show kindness, but I'm not over here playing nice to people. Because being nice is kind of like what you do when you playing nice. That term, playing nice, it's like what you do to, get something out of the situation or make people feel good around you. So like I'm me regardless, and I do kind gestures because it's just in my heart to do so. There are things men should do that are in their heart to do so, and if women don't appreciate, fine, don't discard them. But being too nice, again, when women don't like you, and men can tell, you can tell if you're not reciprocating the same energy from a woman. Y'all need to nip that in the bud. And the moment you experience it, the moment she takes days to reply to a text message, the moment she always is calling you for, I don't know, to help her move stuff into her new apartment, she is not calling you to help you, dead that. Find a woman that's all about you. They're out there. Women hate to hear the truth, but it's true. You gotta like the man more. You gotta be in love with that man to make that relationship long term. I'm living proof. I love my man way more. He loves me. Sometimes I'm just like, dang, he don't pay me no mind. And initially I thought it was rude, but it's like, no, like they're just focused. The type of man that women want to attract are the high value men, the men that are focused and making money and about progress, right? Their minds are focused on so many other things. Like, they're not going to pay attention to every second of the day. And ladies, that's okay. Doesn't mean he hates you. Doesn't mean, he's ignoring you. It just means he has a goal and he's set on it, right? So I couldn't agree more with what, like I said, Myron said on his podcast. And you may think otherwise, but and there's always an exception to every rule. I say that every time I go live. There are exceptions. There are definitely relationships where the man likes the woman more, and it's lasted. But I realized in my case, in a lot of cases I've seen, especially with men that are up here, the woman definitely has to like him more. Right? Because he has options. The man that most women want, he has options. So you gotta be on that man. You gotta love that man. Because if you don't, he's gonna get it from somewhere else. All right? And that's all I gotta say about that. All right, guys. Please like this video if you like this video. Please comment always. I love to hear you guys' opinions. And subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys on the next episode. All right, bye.
Aquel día el instinto nos decía que esa noche juntico no quería, que las ganas bebé nos ganaría, pero no fue así. Vamos lento, ya que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos a jugar. Ella sabe que quiero a mi mamacita. Ella también quiere que seamos felices. Ella, la que se apresura a la vueltica. Ella es sin timidez. Como la ves, no le importa dónde y cuándo. Pero nada no he hecho, no soy el que la mando. Nunca lo seré, su carácter no es de niña, que la puede controlar cualquiera. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente. Vamos lento y verás, y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente. Vamos lento y verás. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos. Los 7 días de la semana te doy de mañana y consejos sabes que no es. Te doy el desquite, que me quites todas esas ganas que te tengo, mujer. Todo el mundo sabe que tú y yo somos más que panas.